7 techniques to improve discipline. Keynotes, techniques to improve discipline. Anchor your life in a clear why. 2. Master the small wins through micro habits. Design an environment that supports your focus. Train the muscle of self-control through daily resistance. Eliminate decision fatigue with routines and rituals. Track, reflect, and realign weekly. Build accountability with the right people. Introduction. There's a reason discipline is called the bridge between goals and achievement. It's not motivation, excitement, or inspiration that determines long-term success. It's discipline, the daily grind, the unseen moments of self-denial, the quiet battles no one claps for. And yet those very moments are where true greatness is forged. If you've ever wondered why you start strong but struggle to finish, why your dreams always seem within reach but never in hand, it's because discipline isn't something you dip your toes into. It's a life you dive into. And today we're diving deep. We live in a world that glorifies quick hacks, shiny results, and overnight transformations. But you and I both know those rarely last. The true winners in life, the ones who break through barriers and rise above distractions, are not the most talented. They're the most disciplined. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They push even when no one is watching. And the best part? That kind of discipline is not reserved for a special few. It can be built, it can be learned, it can be practiced. And today, I will show you how. In this message, you're going to discover 7 powerful techniques that will radically improve your discipline. These are not random tips. They are time-tested, battle-proven principles that can transform procrastinators into finishers, daydreamers into doers. Whether you're trying to get fit, build a business, become spiritually stronger, or simply become a better version of yourself, these techniques will work if you work them. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about winning the day even when the week feels like a failure. It's about showing up for yourself when everything in you wants to quit. So lean in, take notes, reflect deeply, because if you can master these 7 techniques, your life will never be the same again. Anchor your life in a clear why. Discipline begins in the mind, but it is fueled by the heart. The strongest form of self-control isn't built on pressure or punishment. It's built on purpose, and purpose comes from your why. Without a deep emotional and personal reason behind your actions, your motivation will always fade. But when your life is anchored in a clear why, you no longer rely on hype. You're driven by meaning. Think of your why as your internal compass. It points you toward your true north when life throws distractions, failures, and setbacks at you. It's what keeps you grounded when everything around you feels unstable. If you don't know why you want to become more disciplined, then every obstacle will seem like a reason to quit. But if your why is strong enough, no excuse will be strong enough to stop you. Most people make the mistake of setting goals without anchoring them to a deep reason. They say, I want to lose weight, I want to save money, I want to wake up early. But goals without meaning are hollow. You have to ask yourself, why do I want this? Go beyond the surface. Ask again. Peel back the layers until you find the emotional core of your desire. That's where your real fuel lives. Let's say your goal is to get in shape. That's great, but why? Is it because you want to feel confident in your body again? Because you want to be there for your children's future? Because you're tired of letting your health hold you back from living fully? Those deeper reasons, that connection to family, to legacy, to self-worth, that's where true discipline is born. When your why touches your heart, your discipline becomes unshakable. Purpose gives pain a place. It transforms sacrifice into strategy. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't just about being productive. It becomes a step toward your destiny. Saying no to distractions isn't about deprivation. It's about devotion to your calling. Every decision, every delay, every denial becomes worth it when it's tied to your why. And here's the truth. Your why must be so strong that it outlives your emotions. On days when you're tired, discouraged, or tempted, your why has to remind you of what's at stake. Who will suffer if you stay stuck? What future are you building if you don't change? Who are you becoming if you give in now? These are the questions that awaken your inner strength. So if you truly want to build discipline that lasts, don't start with your schedule. Start with your soul. Define your why. Speak it. Write it. Revisit it daily. Let it burn in your heart until giving up no longer feels like an option. When your why becomes non-negotiable, your discipline will become unstoppable. 2. Master the small wins through micro habits. One of the greatest mistakes people make on their journey to discipline is thinking they need to make giant leaps overnight. They believe discipline is about waking up one day and suddenly running 10 miles, reading for 2 hours, or following a flawless routine. But the truth is this: discipline is not built by massive effort. It's built by mastering small wins day after day. This is the power of micro habits. Micro habits are tiny, manageable actions that feel almost too small to matter. But done consistently, they rewire your brain, reshape your behavior, and rebuild your identity. When you commit to small actions that are easy to maintain, you avoid overwhelm. You start building momentum, and momentum is more powerful than motivation. It keeps you moving even when the emotion is gone. Imagine someone who wants to develop the discipline of reading daily. Instead of forcing themselves to read for an hour, they commit to just 1 page a day. It sounds small, maybe even insignificant, but it does something powerful. It creates a pattern, and patterns become lifestyles. 1 page leads to 2. 2 pages become a chapter. And before they know it, reading has become second nature, not because of intensity, but because of consistency. This is where many people get discouraged. They try to sprint before they can walk. But real discipline grows like a muscle. You don't start with 100-pound weights. You start with 5, then you show up again, and again, and again. The muscle strengthens through repetition, not through pressure. Micro habits help you show up, even on bad days, because they're not overwhelming. They're sustainable. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. When you set your sights on small, achievable goals, you begin to win daily. And every small win builds confidence. That confidence builds belief, and belief builds identity. Suddenly, you're not just someone who tries to be disciplined, you're someone who is disciplined. That's the real power of starting small. Think of micro habits as seeds. They look tiny and unimpressive at first, but when watered daily, they grow into something unshakable. Want to become more disciplined in fitness? Start with 1 push-up. Want to improve your diet? Start with 1 healthy meal a day. Want to be more spiritually grounded? Start with 5 minutes of silence or prayer. These little choices unlock bigger breakthroughs. Remember, discipline isn't about the size of the step. It's about the direction of the step. And when you move forward consistently, no matter how small the movement, you're training your brain to value action over perfection. That's the secret of the most disciplined people. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They start small and they show up daily. So if you want to change your life, don't try to overhaul it. Just master today. Just win this hour. Build small habits that serve the big picture. And soon, discipline won't feel like a struggle. It will feel like who you are. Design an environment that supports your focus. Discipline doesn't just depend on what you do. It heavily depends on where you are. Your environment silently influences your behavior every single day. The most disciplined people aren't necessarily the strongest. They're the smartest. They don't rely on willpower alone. They design environments that make self-control easier and distractions harder. You can't plant a seed in toxic soil and expect it to grow. In the same way, you can't expect your discipline to flourish in a chaotic, cluttered, or tempting environment. Most people struggle with discipline not because they lack drive, but because they're fighting a losing battle in the wrong setting. Your surroundings either support your vision or sabotage it. Look around your life. Is your phone constantly within reach when you're trying to focus? Is your fridge filled with junk food when you're trying to eat healthy? Are your evenings surrounded by friends who belittle your growth when you're trying to improve? You can't build strong habits in weak environments. Your space either pushes you forward or pulls you backward. The solution isn't to force more willpower, it's to eliminate unnecessary resistance. If you're trying to work in a loud room, put on noise-canceling headphones. If you're trying to wake up early, put your alarm across the room. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before. These small shifts reduce the number of decisions you have to make, and less decisions mean less chances to drift. Because here's the truth, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And your environment is your system. If it's working against you, your goals will feel impossible. But if it's working for you, discipline becomes a flow, not a fight. Start auditing your environment. Make it easier to make good decisions. Make it harder to make bad ones. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow so it's the last thing you see at night. Want to reduce screen time? Delete distracting apps or schedule screen limits. Want to pray more? Create a corner in your room dedicated to quiet time. When you intentionally shape your space, you shape your life. Disciplined living isn't just about inner strength. It's about outer wisdom. A well-designed environment becomes a silent coach that nudges you toward your highest self. You won't need to constantly remind yourself to stay on track because your space will guide you there. It will speak to your goals without saying a word. So don't underestimate this principle. If you're serious about growing in discipline, then get serious about designing a space where discipline thrives. Change what surrounds you, and you'll change what shapes you. When your environment reflects your vision, staying on course becomes natural, not forced. Train the muscle of self-control through daily resistance. Discipline isn't something you wake up with. It's something you train. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens with use and shrinks with neglect. If you want to be more disciplined, you have to expose yourself to resistance on purpose. You have to engage with discomfort, not avoid it. And the only way to grow that inner strength is to practice self-control daily, even in the smallest areas. We often wait for big dramatic moments to prove our discipline, the job interview, the marathon, the final exam. But those moments are just tests. The training happens long before in quiet daily decisions no one sees. Saying no to that extra slice of cake, resisting the urge to scroll social media, waking up when your alarm rings instead of hitting snooze. These micro moments build your resistance muscle. Every time you delay gratification, you gain power. Every time you say not now to a temporary craving, you're reminding your mind that it doesn't control you, you control it. This is how warriors are made. Not through ease, but through endurance. Not through feeling good, but through pushing through the moments that don't feel good at all. The most disciplined people have simply learned to sit with discomfort longer than others. They've practiced the art of not giving in. They've discovered the truth that every act of self-control rewires your brain for more self-control. Science backs it up. Your brain literally strengthens its decision-making circuits when you delay impulses, resist temptation, or stick to a habit, even when it's boring. One of the best ways to train this muscle is to build deliberate moments of challenge into your day. You don't need to climb mountains to grow discipline. Start small. Take a cold shower. Fast from junk food once a week. Turn off your phone for an hour a day. Wake up 15 minutes earlier to pray, plan, or read. These small acts of voluntary resistance become your training ground. Over time, what used to feel difficult becomes natural. Your pain tolerance increases. Your mental toughness expands. And suddenly, you're not being disciplined. You are disciplined. The identity shifts because you've paid the price. You've put in the reps. You've earned the strength. Remember, easy never produces excellence, and comfort never creates character. If you're serious about improving your discipline, you must invite resistance into your routine. Seek it, embrace it, let it refine you, because the more you push through pain with purpose, the more unstoppable you become. So treat your discipline like a muscle. Don't neglect it. Train it every day. And when life throws challenges your way, you won't crumble. You'll rise, you'll respond, you'll win. Not because you're lucky, but because you're ready. Eliminate decision fatigue with routines and rituals. Every day, your brain is faced with thousands of decisions: what to wear, what to eat, when to work, whether to scroll or focus, when to start, and when to stop. Each of these choices drains your mental energy. And here's the truth most people overlook. Discipline doesn't always fail because of weakness. It fails because of fatigue. The more decisions you make, the more tired your willpower becomes. That's why creating routines and rituals is so powerful. Routines are not about being robotic. They're about being strategic. When you automate the basics, you reserve your energy for the battles that matter most. You're no longer wasting strength on should I or shouldn't I. You've already decided. And when something is part of your rhythm, it no longer requires willpower. It runs on habit. Think about the most successful and disciplined individuals you know. Most of them follow a clear daily structure. They eat similar meals. They have a regular sleep pattern. They start their mornings with intention. Why? Because they've removed chaos from the equation. Their lives are simplified, not because they lack spontaneity, but because they've chosen order over distraction. You don't need to plan every minute of your day, but you do need pillars. Morning and evening routines in particular are game changers. They set the tone and close the loop. A strong morning routine could include journaling, reading, exercise, or prayer, whatever aligns with your goals. An evening routine might be reflecting on the day, shutting down screens, planning tomorrow, and giving your mind space to rest. And then there's the power of rituals. Rituals are more than just routines. They're infused with meaning. They carry emotional weight. For example, lighting a candle before reading, or putting on a specific playlist before working, or reciting a mantra before a workout. These small actions create psychological cues. They tell your mind it's time to focus, it's time to work, it's time to win. When you build strong routines and rituals, you reduce the number of decisions you face, and fewer decisions mean less fatigue. You stay sharp, you stay disciplined, you stop negotiating with yourself every morning about whether or not to show up, because the ritual has already answered that question. Even God designed life with rhythm, day and night, seed and harvest, work and rest. When your life has rhythm, you flourish. When your life is chaotic, you flounder. So design a system that sets you up to succeed even when you're tired, stressed, or unmotivated. Discipline thrives in structure. So instead of trying to be stronger all the time, be smarter. Build habits that carry you when your energy runs low. Let your routine be your armor. Let your rituals be your fuel. Because when your days have order, your purpose has power and discipline becomes your default. 6. Track, reflect, and realign weekly. One of the most overlooked techniques for building discipline is the power of consistent reflection. Many people fall off track not because they lack effort, but because they lack awareness. They don't stop to ask, what's working, what's not, where did I slip, where did I succeed? Without reflection, you repeat. But with reflection, you realign. Discipline isn't just about action, it's about correction. You must track your progress. Whether you use a journal, a planner, a habit tracker app, or simple notes on your phone, you need a system that shows you where your energy is going. What gets measured gets managed. If you never track your habits, you'll never truly master them. Once a week, sit down with yourself. Review your wins and your weaknesses. Don't beat yourself up, but don't lie to yourself either. Discipline requires truth. Ask yourself, did I follow my routine? Did I give my best effort? Where did I let distractions in? And more importantly, what do I need to change next week? This weekly ritual of reflection keeps your vision sharp and your path clear. It allows you to course correct before drifting too far. It also builds self-respect because when you consistently review your progress, you prove to yourself that your goals matter. Reflection transforms discipline from effort into strategy. It makes your journey intentional, not accidental. And over time, it turns you into a person who doesn't just act, but adjusts, adapts, and advances. Build accountability with the right people. Discipline becomes stronger when it's not carried alone. You are never meant to walk your journey in isolation. One of the fastest ways to improve your discipline is to build accountability with the right people. When you have someone checking in on your progress, your consistency increases. When you know someone is watching, not to judge, but to support, you step up with more focus and follow through. Accountability is not about shame, it's about alignment. It reminds you of your commitments when emotions fade. A workout partner pushes you to show up when you'd rather sleep. A mentor challenges your excuses and calls out your potential. Even a group of like-minded friends on the same growth path can keep you sharp, focused, and motivated. But it's not just about having people around, it's about having the right people. Surround yourself with individuals who value growth, consistency, and character. People who will encourage you when you're down, but also confront you when you're drifting. True accountability is a gift because it helps you do what you said you would do long after the mood in which you said it has passed. You don't have to tell the whole world your goals, but you should tell someone who will lovingly hold you to a higher standard. That one relationship could be the catalyst that strengthens your discipline and transforms your destiny. Remember, iron sharpens iron, and disciplined people don't walk alone. They walk together. Conclusion. Discipline isn't a mystery. It's a decision, a daily one. And while the world may tell you it takes talent, luck, or perfect conditions to succeed, the truth is this: it takes consistency, purpose, and the courage to do hard things even when no one's clapping. What separates those who merely dream from those who truly achieve is the quiet power of self-mastery. You've now heard 7 powerful techniques to improve your discipline. From anchoring your life in a compelling why, to mastering micro habits, designing empowering environments, training your self-control, building unshakable routines, reflecting weekly, and walking with accountability, you're no longer guessing. You have a roadmap, a system, a structure that works. But knowing isn't enough. Action is what activates change. You must take these tools and apply them imperfectly, consistently, courageously. You will fall short. You will get distracted, but with every new day comes another chance to realign. Don't wait until life is easy. Discipline isn't about waiting for better days. It's about rising in the one you have now and deciding, I'm not staying where I am. Remember, greatness is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet hours, the unseen sacrifices, the daily yes to a bigger future. Your future is not waiting for more inspiration. It's waiting for your discipline. Thank you for investing your time, your energy, and your heart into this message. I don't take it for granted. If this word stirred something in you, then don't let it fade. Act on it. One step, one habit, one choice at a time. I believe in your potential. I believe in your breakthrough. And I believe that as you walk in discipline, you won't just change your life, you'll inspire others to do the same. Thank you. Keep building. Keep rising. Stay disciplined. And never stop becoming who you were created to be. Ask ChatGPT